If you're a new or small channel, your videos get shown to maybe 100 people, 20 of them watch if you're lucky, then YouTube just gives up on it. But here's the thing, channels that break out fast aren't more talented or working harder. They just understand 4 specific signals that YouTube needs from small channels that nobody really talks about. And once you know them, breaking out becomes almost mechanical. In this video, I'll show you the 4 easy steps that can get any channel out of small channel hell in as little as 30 to 60 days. And later on, I'll even share the brand new content wall strategy that can work even faster. It's definitely the nuclear option here, but it's been shown to absolutely explode new and small channels recently. If you've been wondering if YouTube's treating your channel differently, you're not imagining things. It definitely is. YouTube's algorithm makes completely different decisions for channels under 1,000 subscribers, and it's not because they hate you or they don't want you to succeed. YouTube's just an algorithm. It doesn't run on vibes, it runs on data, and you just haven't given them enough of it yet. You know, think about it. When you've only uploaded 10, 20 videos, YouTube has maybe a few thousand total views worth of data about your content. Now compare that to a channel with 500 videos and millions of views. YouTube knows exactly who watches them, what titles work, what thumbnails get clicked. For small channels, YouTube is essentially flying blind, so it shows your video to a small test group, maybe 50 to 100 people, and if they don't immediately engage, YouTube basically just stops the test. It just doesn't have enough confidence to risk showing it to more people. This is why small channels all see that same frustrating pattern. A little spike of impressions, then flatline, then maybe another tiny spike days later. YouTube's testing your video in bursts, trying to collect data, but without enough information to know who actually wants your content. But there are 4 tried and true steps that you can take to increase the data you give YouTube with each video and speed up this hell phase so you can get to the good stuff waiting for you on the other side. The biggest mistake I see small channels make is trying to copy what Mr. Beast or other huge channels are doing with their titles. They'll use these vague, curiosity-based titles like, "You won't believe what happened," or "This changed everything." And then they're shocked when YouTube shows it to 50 people and then completely gives up. Here's the thing, those titles only work when YouTube already has a ton of data about who watches your content. When you're small, YouTube has no clue who would want that video. But there's actually a much better way for small channels to get discovered, and most creators completely discount it. Search. You've probably heard this one before, but YouTube is the 2nd biggest search engine in the world. It still is. And if you're using YouTube to help clients find you, search is the most highly targeted way to make that happen. People typing specific questions into YouTube are literally raising their hands saying, "I need help with this exact problem." So instead of guessing what might go viral, you need to find out what people in your niche are actually searching for. And the easiest way to do that is just go to YouTube's search bar and start typing in topics related to your business. YouTube's gonna auto-complete it with real searches that people are making, and it's usually in the order of how many people are searching for it. And the more words that show up in that suggestion, the better. We call these long tail keywords, and you're gonna have way less competition for those. Now for service businesses, the best starting point is simple FAQs that your ideal clients would search for when they know they have a problem. You know, things like how to get consulting clients without cold calling, or how to make a small room look bigger, or when to overseed your lawn in fall. Whatever applies to your specific expertise. And, you know, admittedly, these aren't sexy titles, but they're exactly what your future clients are typing in when they need help. Once you find these searches, you need to put the exact phrase in your title, not a clever variation, not a shortened version, the exact phrase that people are searching for. Then include it in your description too, as close to the beginning as possible. This gives YouTube crystal clear signals on what your video is about, which is crucial when the algorithm doesn't really have other data to work with. And look, I know search-based titles aren't as exciting as trying to go viral, but when you're in small channel hell, search is your lifeline. It's how you get those first consistent views that tell YouTube which people actually want your content. And by the way, this Monday starts my twice-a-year special enrollment week of YouTube to Clients Academy, where you can learn my exact system for starting a client-generating YouTube channel, plus weekly small group coaching with me. So click the link in the description to learn more about that. Now back to the video. When someone sees your video with 47 views sitting next to one with 47,000 views, their brain makes an instant decision, and it's not in your favor. It's not fair, but it's human psychology. Your thumbnail is the only weapon you have against this bias. It has to be so compelling that it overrides their natural instinct to click on the safer choice with more views. But here's the key. It's not just about looking good. Your thumbnail needs to instantly communicate that this video has the specific answer they're searching for. It needs to sell the intrigue and promise that this is more targeted, more helpful than those generic videos with thousands of views. And I recently analyzed over 1,000 outlier videos, videos that massively outperformed their channel's average, and here's what actually works. First, you want a maximum of 3 elements in your thumbnail. Now, I know you want to cram in more probably, but the human brain literally can't process more than that in the split second of someone scrolling. And the most successful thumbnails I saw had either a face, text, and one object, or just 2 of those elements done really well. And color is also huge. Don't go with drab or muddy colors. You really do want to lean into brighter, bolder colors. They just force people to stop scrolling. I know on my channel, whenever I do a thumbnail like this, it definitely outperforms the thumbnails like this. And I think it's mostly because of the color. And showing your face usually works better than not too, but not just any smiling headshot. You want to show what we call anticipatory emotions. Now, based on the data, excited faces showed up in 25% of successful thumbnails, shocked faces in about 18%. Why? Well, because these emotions make people curious about what caused that reaction. And again, I can tell you in my own thumbnails, if I'm just smiling, I always get fewer views than if I look somewhat shocked or surprised. But here's the test that matters most. I want you to squint at your thumbnail until it's blurry. Can you still tell what it's about? Because 70% of YouTube watching happens on mobile devices, and your thumbnail is gonna be tiny. So if it doesn't work when it's small and blurry, it doesn't work, period. Now, for small channels specifically, certain thumbnail types consistently outperform. The counterintuitive advice thumbnail works great. It can be a very natural looking image taken straight from the video itself if you want, with a quote that's super intriguing because of how different it is from normal advice out there. And then transformation thumbnails that show a clear before and after tap into our curiosity about the process. And mystery thumbnails, where you blur out a key element or use arrows pointing at something that we can't quite see, create that information gap that people need to fill. And here's something that most small channels aren't taking advantage of. YouTube actually has built-in A/B testing for thumbnails now. I personally test at least 3 versions of every thumbnail, and I actually like to make 3 completely different ones, but you can also test smaller things like facial expressions or the wording. But if you're not testing at all, you're leaving views on the table. What happens when a small channel posts a video about social media marketing that gets 500 views? Then they post one about email automation that gets 50 views. Then one about mindset that gets 100 views. They don't grow, and they wonder why, right? They think they're providing value across all these different areas, but what they're actually doing is confusing the hell out of YouTube's algorithm. Remember what we talked about earlier. YouTube doesn't have enough data about your small channel to know who to show your videos to. So when you jump between random topics, even if you can justify that they're related somehow, you're basically resetting that learning process for YouTube every single time. They're trying to figure out if you're a marketing channel, a productivity channel, or a business channel, and eventually it just gives up trying to categorize you at all. The thing is, YouTube's algorithm is desperate to put you in a box. It wants to know exactly what your channel's about so it can recommend your videos to the right people. And when you're small, you need to make that as easy as possible for the algorithm. Now, to do that, you need to be crystal clear about who your ideal viewer is. Not small business owners, that's too broad. I'm talking about coaches who want to get clients from LinkedIn, or interior designers struggling to get high-value clients, or lawn care businesses trying to get commercial contracts. The more specific you can be about who you're talking to and what problem you're solving for them, the faster YouTube's going to understand your channel. Every single video you make needs to be something that same person would be interested in. So If they wouldn't watch all of your videos because some don't apply to them, then you're probably too scattered. And here's what everyone forgets about the algorithm. When you stay consistent and one of your videos finally hits, it creates a ripple effect, right? People who discover you through that one breakout video will go back and watch your other videos, but only if those videos are also relevant to them. If they find you through a video about retirement planning, then they click on your channel, and then they see videos about cryptocurrency and maybe a political rant, they're gone. And YouTube learns that your videos aren't related, so it kind of stops recommending them altogether. And I know this feels limiting, especially in the beginning. You probably have knowledge about lots of different things that you want to share, but remember, the tighter your focus when you're small, the faster you're gonna grow. Then once you have momentum, once YouTube knows exactly who your audience is, then you can start to slowly expand your scope. But most successful channels never need to. They find their lane and they own it completely. Now, I will be getting to the brand new nuclear option that can pretty much reset your channel for success in just a minute. But first, here's the uncomfortable truth about why you're stuck in small channel hell to begin with. You probably haven't posted enough. Now, I know you're already overwhelmed, you're already spending hours on each video probably, and now I'm telling you to make more. But hear me out, because this might be the most important thing you hear all day. Most small channels post maybe once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, right? They spend days perfecting each video, thinking quality over quantity is the answer. The brutal reality though is that YouTube needs data points to understand your channel, and every video you upload is a data point. The more data you give it, the faster it learns who watches your content, how long they stay, what makes them click, and what makes them subscribe. And the better YouTube understands your channel, the more views each individual video is gonna get. So making more videos doesn't just give you more chances to be discovered, it actually makes each video perform better. There's this concept from one of my favorite business books called 10x is easier than 2x. And the idea is that sometimes massive growth comes not from doing a little bit more of everything, but from focusing intensely on one high leverage activity and letting all the other stuff fall away. What if for the next 6 months, YouTube became your #1 marketing priority? What if instead of spreading yourself across social media, networking events, and cold outreach, you just went all in on YouTube and committed to not 1 video per week, but 2? Think about what happens when you commit to more videos. First, you get more practice. Everyone's awkward in their first videos. I was super stiff in mine. The only way I got comfortable talking to a camera was by doing it over and over again. By video 50, you'll be so much more natural than you were at video 5. And then by video 100, you're gonna be unrecognizable from where you started. Second, you're giving your audience more chances to find you. Every video is a new opportunity for someone to discover your channel. And when you have more videos, that one breakout video can change everything. When someone finds you through that one video that resonates perfectly with them, they'll often binge your entire back catalog, but only if there's a catalog to binge. But here's the real magic of posting more frequently: compound improvement. So if you just focus on making each video 1% better than the last one, after 100 videos, you're 100% better than when you started. And that's not woo-woo motivational speaking, that's just math. Maybe this video you work on making better hooks. Next video, you improve your thumbnail. The one after that, you work on a more natural, engaging delivery. These tiny improvements are gonna compound into massive growth. And here's what YouTube learns with all this data. Who exactly watches your content and for how long? Which titles attract your ideal viewer versus random people? What thumbnail styles work for your specific audience? What topics bring people back for more videos? And what makes someone go from a viewer to a subscriber? Each video is gonna add to this knowledge base, and YouTube starts to get more confident about who to show your videos to. And remember, this isn't forever. This is a focused sprint to break you out of your small channel hell you're in right now. Once you've got momentum, once you're getting consistent views, you can dial it back if you need to, but for right now, you do need to give YouTube enough data to understand your channel. The only way to do that is with volume. Now, if that posting schedule seems too intense, I've got something else you can try that can work faster with fewer videos. And I learned this strategy from fellow YouTuber Nate Black, and he calls it the content wall. He's been working with a lot of channels implementing this exact strategy, and the results he's seeing are pretty crazy. Here's how it works. First, you need to pause all your uploads for at least a month. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive when I just told you to post more, but this reset period is kind of critical to the plan. It clears YouTube's recent memory of your channel, and it gives you kind of a clean slate. And during that month of silence, you're not relaxing, you're preparing. Specifically, you're creating the best 3 videos you've ever made, all laser focused on your specific audience. Now, these videos need to be ultra targeted to one specific problem that your audience has. So if you're a therapist, maybe all 3 videos are about dealing with anxiety naturally. Different techniques, different approaches, but all solving that same core problem. When you drop these videos all at once, something cool happens. YouTube sees this burst of content and starts testing all 3 videos at once. But here's the magic. When someone watches one of your videos, YouTube's immediately gonna recommend the other 2. It's kind of like forced cross-pollination between your own videos. Now, this works because of YouTube's recency bias. The algorithm loves recommending your most recent uploads, especially in end screens and suggested videos. So when you have 3 recent videos instead of just 1, you triple your chances of keeping someone on your channel. And the more videos they watch in one session, the stronger the signal to YouTube that your content is valuable. And check out this real data from channels that have done this. This channel went from a few hundred views to one video getting over 3,000 within weeks of implementing this strategy. And you can see here the views are still racking up consistently. But here's what's critical for this to work. These 3 content wall videos need to be representative of what you're gonna keep making. So don't drop 3 tutorials if you're planning on making list-style videos going forward. The wall should be a perfect sample of your channel's future. You're essentially showing YouTube, this is exactly what my channel is about now, in one concentrated burst. And then after you drop the wall, you have to immediately resume a consistent posting schedule. At minimum, 1 video per week. Some creators boost this even more by posting daily shorts for 2 to 4 weeks after the wall. This is gonna maintain your momentum and keep feeding YouTube data while you're hot. And if you're really serious about going all in on YouTube for automated client generation, I've got some great news for you. So next week, I'm running my twice-a-year special enrollment week for the newly updated YouTube to Clients Academy. This is the all-in-one system that makes it super easy to start your client-generating YouTube channel without any expensive equipment, going full-time into YouTube, or having to go viral ever. And this is not just a course, it's 6 months of small group coaching with me, so you get direct feedback and advice whenever you need it. Now, if you want to check out what the program's all about now, click right here, and the discount drops this Monday, October 6th, and it ends Friday, October 10th. So hope to see you on the inside next week.